We could have homes on separate coasts, go dive in Greece with squids. Could have been so bleeping rich, but instead we had kids. They won't smile for a photo, they won't eat the food we choose. That's why we're heading to the parents' lounge to drown ourselves in booze. Every day we're more exhausted, we haven't slept in years. They hit me in the nuts so bad, my eyes filled up with tears. And yes, we'd like to fake our death and go off of the grids, but the truth is we are softies and we truly love our kids. So join us every Tuesday night to laugh at all our pain. Evening in the parents' lounge is the cure to staying sane. We are back for another weekly therapy session. Jamie Kaler. I'm joined as always by my partner in crime and Jason Gowan, and basically our new partner in crime, who's got a bomb hairdo going tonight.
Does she, or did she take out a wet braid from 2 days ago?
Look at you! You're going full Mandy Moore or something.
What Mandy Moore era? Current?
Yeah. You know what we have to do, Kate? We have to take the first show you did to now, and then we'll go with the hair and now the lipstick. I mean,
I'll tell you what. You know what? This bitch had the worst day ever and was like, maybe a little lipstick will help.
A little lipstick works on everything.
So I don't buy it. It's Hawaiian Punch at best.
It honestly looks like, I mean, it's got a vampire. It's like there's a Kirsten Dunst from Interview with a Vampire vibe there.
Oh, yeah.
By the way,
what about the messy bed behind me?
Yeah, I think that sums. We'll get to your day in a second. Okay. Let's welcome everybody to the Parents Lounge. We're here every Tuesday.
Hello, everyone.
Whether you're watching us on Facebook or Twitch or YouTube or something, thank you for coming. And we're starting 2000s Mandy Moore, the best one. Genevieve, I love it. So this is it's our weekly oasis, we call it. It's kind of like counseling, parental. Of course, people are calling me parental counseling during the week, and it's our little oasis. So we have. Luckily, we did a special show on Sunday, and I have a little wine left over. Yeah, Kate, can you talk real quick about our little Sunday soiree?
How was it?
It was fantastic. You couldn't make it.
I couldn't make it. My son's birthday's today, so at some point I've just shoved McDonald's in front of them all, and they're eating, and then at some point it's gonna be time to sing to him. So I'm gonna pop off just to sing happy birthday because I'm a good mom, guys.
Which son is it?
It's the younger. James. He's turning 4.
I was like, is it? I know the other one is Neil, and I was
like, Neil and James.
Gary or Sam.
What is like me? I'm terrible with names in general.
Yeah.
Like kids' names of friends that I don't really like. I don't go to school with. I don't hang with. Are so low on my priority list that I am lost. There's
one notch below on the totem pole for me, and it's that kid's parents' name.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I'm just like, oh, you're Roger's dad. Aww.
Hi, Brent. Good evening, Brent. I spoke to your son this week, Brent. By the way, my buddy's dad, Brent Toki, comes in all the time.
Oh, how nice.
Toki.
Hello,
Toki.
So we did a crazy. We had this. So we're kind of sponsored by 16600 Vineyard in Sonoma. And they had us do their wine club, and you missed out. There was like 5,000 people watching us live.
Oh my God.
We just got drunk and everybody told crazy ass stories about wine and drinking, and it was super fun. But unfortunately, like it was Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m, which was great until about 4, when all of a sudden I was like, oh, I still have a few more hours of parenting I have to do. And
that's the bummer.
It was a bummer. I was like, hey, everybody, let's focus and go to bed. Like that. It's 4:30. I was like,
but it's 7:30 somewhere.
Hey, Jamie, I was going through movies on Netflix and came upon a movie you were in, Aftermath. Michelle loved it. I was like, oh my, I finally seen you in a movie, and oh, you were starstruck. Oh, that's really kind, I think.
Dude,
I'm in a movie
you're-
called Aftermath on Netflix, and it is directed by an old friend of mine, Peter Winther, Sean Ashmore, and Ashley Greene. It actually is it's a pretty good scary flick, and it did really well. And they're making a prequel, I think, and a sequel at some point. But I
Are
can't.
they going to de-age you? Oh my God! Please tell me you're in the.
Oh
prequel
yeah, I
de-age.
would love it. Like 19, and they'll bring back the mustache.
Oh,
I have to pull the picture up. They de-aged me on. So there's a running gag on Tacoma FD that I was the father of this kid, and so they pulled the kid out. And so what they did is they took my face and superimposed. I'm going to find it before the end of the show, and I'll
good.
bring it up. And it's
I
my
gotta tell you-
face on a baby's body. And I'm going to tell you right now.
What?
You've never seen it? Oh, I'm going to pull it. It's the
I
scariest
didn't
thing I've
see
ever
that.
seen, and it will haunt your dreams. It will haunt you.
Oh my God! In the Navy.
No, not Brand. It was not in the Navy. It was on Tacoma FD. It was fake Navy. Hey, we have Kate. We have a new panel member, a friend of mine. She's fantastic. She's a
I'm so
mom.
excited.
I know, right?
I'm
I
really
know.
excited.
I love it this way too. Honestly, we did so many shows as the two dads that we were like, we need some parental supervision. So we brought a couple moms in. So
That's right.
you have proven your worth, and you are basically we're kind of your.
Okay.
But we just did this woman's show, which is fantastic.
Super
The
fun.
name alone is amazing. I knew her from Upright Citizens Brigade. They also run Illuminati Improv, which I'm sure she'll talk about. She's a huge improviser, and she has a podcast called Why Mommy Drinks. Right?
It's the best.
It's the
It's
best.
a big deal podcast too.
It's a pretty big podcast, and so
It
Jason
is. It was pretty cool.
Last kind of breaking it down. So I asked her to come do the show, and she's here. So let's bring in Betsy Stover.
Hello.
Hi,
Betsy.
Beth.
Hi.
How are you?
Nice to see you. Nice to meet you, Kate.
Nice to meet you, Betsy. Betsy, why doesn't your bed look like that?
Oh, because I just hid all the stuff there.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I love that the moms are in their bedrooms and the dudes are in some weird eclectic closet like it.
I'm at the DMV.
Getting your picture taken.
Really nice DMV, I have to say.
I know you had. How can we?
Wow.
how
Got
can I
velvet
get my
curtains.
license? Yeah.
Well, Betsy, real
That's
quick,
just the sheet.
real quick, I want Betsy to talk about Illuminati Improv's amazing. Now that's you guys run that, right? That's your improv company, Illuminati?
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I glitched up for a second there. IlluminatiImprov.com. If you all go there, you can check it out. We do improv classes in person and online, and the whole point is not to get on Saturday Night Live or something. The whole point is to like have fun, because improv is super fun, and it doesn't need to be like a competitive thing. It's a joyful thing. So I've been teaching at UCB theater for over 20 years, and
Oh my God.
so has my husband Ari Vukidis, and he's also a teacher at Illuminati, and we've got a couple friends, longtime UCB teachers as well. So yeah, we also do shows on YouTube every other weekend, and we're doing one this weekend. So check it out; it's free every other Saturday.
And where can they find that?
If you go to youtube.com/Illuminati Improv, or if you just go to IlluminatiImprov.com, I don't know if this is surprising or not, but Illuminati Improv, we get a lot of requests from gentlemen they're always in Africa for some reason, and they all want to join the Illuminati.
Sure.
We get so many DMs.
I mean, that name Illuminati is very specific.
Yeah.
It is very specific.
When you pulled it out, did you just think it was a cool sounding name? Because it's a very select group.
Oh, look at this. Someone here is a listener. You read my story about how I broke my parents in the late 90s by screaming at the Wisconsin State Supreme Court. I remember that story.
Wait, what?
Oh.
Wait, what?
Yes, Maureen.
Her
Yes.
mom was getting sworn in as like a very fancy lawyer or something, and the whole family was there, and Maureen was there, and Maureen lost her goddamn mind, and I think her dad had to like leave and miss the whole thing because Maureen was screaming. Maureen, I hope I gave I hope I got your story right, but yeah, that was a super fun story.
That's incredible. You would remember that. Because you've done so many episodes.
That was the late 90s, though. Nowadays, you wouldn't scream at the Supreme Court. You would just bring your automatic weapon in, and your militia.
Yeah.
And then you would speak very quietly at the Supreme Court. That's the new screaming.
Yeah, you would wear your great big horn headdress, and you would paint your chest, and you would be there to create democracy.
He's ruined that for me, ever wearing mine out in public ever again.
Remember, you were the cool kid at the party, at the frat party with the giant horn thing. Now you're, it's over. You can't wear that thing anymore.
There was that whole thing afterwards that he like requested in jail, like all organic meals.
And you got it. He got his way. That's the most infuriating part.
I'm sure he went to like the little commissary and was like, "Hey, can I order some organic stuff?" And they were like, "Yeah, we'll put that on a back order. Well, it's going to be a lot of money, but we'll have it shipped in."
Are these hydroponic avocado?
The other thing, Betsy, is the Why Mommy Drinks podcast. Real quick talk, because the podcast is huge, and the name alone, I mean, it makes you have to listen to that podcast. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, everyone should listen, especially this week, because Jamie and Jason are on the podcast.
I love those guys.
This week.
We're gonna blast
they're really. You can't tell when you're listening to it, but they're very handsome, very beguiling.
Sorry, I laughed so hard. Sorry.
Oh, I think you can hear it. You can hear beauty. Like if you hear Brad Pitt's voice in an animated thing, you're like, oh, that guy's delicious.
There's a soft chiseledness to my voice that I think carries through.
Jason's especially, yes.
Thank you.
Well, really quick, why does Mommy drink?
That's exactly what we uncover in each and every episode. It's not a podcast.
What's the one recurring episode? What's the one recurring reason that people say?
Oh my God. Well, okay. So each episode, everyone shares a story of a time their kids drove them to drink, literally or figuratively.
Yeah.
I would have to say there are a lot of recurring themes. One is trying to make memories, and then it all goes to shit.
Yes.
It's like, oh my gosh, our children are going to love camping, love going to the mall and seeing Santa, whatever the fuck. What were you gonna say, Jamie?
No, that was the bit about going social media when I go to the beach with my kids, and my wife's trying to take a photo, and then she's like, "We're cold, let's go home." And I go, "We've been in a pandemic. My kids are at the beach, and we had a huge fight." And then, of course, my wife posted pictures from the beach, even though it was the worst day ever. And my friend called that night. I was like, "Hey, thanks a lot, Dick. My wife saw your photos, and now she's like, why don't we ever go to the beach?" And I was like, that's the problem with social media right there.
Yeah. Oh, because
doesn't capture
90% of that experience is hell. And then there's like 10% of it, you're like, we're doing it, guys. We're making memories. But yeah, so much of it is just like a fucking nightmare. And we also get a lot of stories about kids throwing up on airplanes. That seems to happen a lot. I've learned you have to bring extra clothes for your kids and for yourself. That is a life lesson.
Yeah. Did anyone get pooped on? I got shit on.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember you telling me that.
Volcanoed out, and I was like, "What's that smell?" And I pulled the kid off, and it was all up my chest.
Was it infant? Was it an infant?
Yeah. No. It was
some
a
14-year-old kid.
14-year-old kid.
By the way, that
deliberately he was like, "Have this, Dad." No, he
was saying
a baby in the diaper.
I know what I'm saying is like it smells like popcorn. Then if we're talking about an infant, they've got that popcorn poop still.
Kate,
that mustard
what kind
yellow
of popcorn are you currently eating? And it smells the same as baby.
Well, okay. I guess the other question is
to recommend to you at the end of this show.
You guys, I get the Kirkland popcorn. It smells like infant poop. What do you guys get?
What? It's a poo. It's popcorn. It's made in a baby's butt. It's real good.
Shoot it out. Just shoot it out. It's great. Freshly packed.
Somebody should make a popcorn popper that looks like a kid in like Downward Dog with the kid's ass sticking up and the diaper's kind of down, and then the popcorn just shoots. And you put it, and then as it pops out of the kid's ass.
And while it's heating up, the little diaper is on, and then the little diaper comes off when it slides down.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, that's
And on the bottom where his little peenie is where the butter comes out.
Yeah.
Butter dispenser.
Oh, I like it.
There.
Look what I'm doing with my hand. I think this is the whole point for visual. See, this is the difference in visual.
Wow.
I think they could hear in your voice, not only are you handsome, but you were definitely stroking your first finger as if it was a child's penis pointing down, delivering butter to your popcorn.
That was milk.
I was trying to find
audio
the tag.
captured that.
Thank you, Kate, because I was trying to find the tactful way to describe what he just did. Yeah.
Yep, just a gentle milking of an udder.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm always amazed when people don't drink, and you're like, oh, I almost feel worse for them as parents. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, at least, with the alcohol, we have a little bit of a solution for it. So yeah.
Oh, it is a really yeah. I mean, it works. It works.
It doesn't not work. No.
It doesn't not work.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you're on the show tonight. It's super fun. And what we do is we kind of panel the whole thing. And then this week, it was really funny because I was talking to a couple friends who are getting divorced. And
fun.
And the more I talk to them,
hilarious.
Hilarious. The more I talk to them, the more I wonder how anybody doesn't get divorced.
I know.
I did divorce the first time.
See, you got one.
You did divorce?
I did, yeah.
You did divorce. I did divorce the first time. I did divorce. Betsy, have you ever done divorce? Have you ever done divorce, Betsy?
I haven't selected divorce yet.
Well,
not yet.
You never know. I might do it.
I didn't do divorce. No, I haven't. You know what? I have yet to try divorce, but I don't know, Jamie. Jamie might convince me. Let's see how did it go.
See how it plays out. Well, here's my question. It's so funny because I was talking to. I don't want to name any names, but I was talking to some people, and they go through the same boat of like, it's so funny because you date somebody, right? And it's party time. You're drinking all the time. There's no questionnaire to go, hey, how are we going to raise these kids? What are like my wife and I had a huge fight this week because I let my daughter make. Betsy's already like, oh, of course you did.
Yeah. It was a week.
We had many fights, but the one fight was I let Hannah cook macaroni and cheese. I filled the pot. I turned the stove on. There was boiling water involved. She was stirring it. My wife was kind of freaked out because there was boiling water. I walked away for a few minutes and she was stirring. And there was a huge brawl about like, you letting that kid? I go, yeah, she's learning how to cook. She goes, what if she spills it on her? I go, she's going to learn real quickly about cooking.
What I'm gonna tell you
is?
I go, I mean, she's not. She's in 3rd grade. She's 8 years old. What I mean, so the question is that should be a test on like date 2, right? Where you're like, hey, really quick, if a 3rd grader wants to cook with boiling water, are you in or out? And we should have like 100-question test that says, Mulligan, no?
I'm just saying it's not the kid test for me. Honestly, the question I'm going to be on mine is, how do you feel about closing a fucking cabinet?
Yeah.
Where are you on cabinets getting closed?
I like that. If you get a piece of cheese and you cut it, do you put the cheese back in the bag and then put the knife in the sink?
Is that a thing that you do?
Oh, wow. I just found out I'm the wife in this relationship.
I am too.
So my wife couldn't find the iron. Like I don't even know if she knew how to.
This is why we get along.
She had to put brownie patches on the kids' brownie thing this week, right? My wife has never ironed a day. She's got a killer job. She's a pretty big executive. So she's like,
it's amazing.
Yeah, she's great. But she's, so she pulled the iron. She finally found the iron. She looked everywhere. She goes, we lost the iron. We didn't lose the iron. The iron's in the house. She couldn't find it. Of course, it was in her closet eventually. It was in her own closet, in her closet. So she irons the fucking thing. This was like 4 days ago. The iron is still in the same spot where she used it. And I was like, I've cleaned. I kind of clean up because she's working or whatever. So I cleaned everything, but I've left the iron there every day.
Yeah.
But she did turn it off.
Picture of the iron and post it every day and go, day 14 of the iron. Were you ever going to put the iron away after you used it? She doesn't put anything away. And then they don't put anything away. And I'm like yelling at them to put their shit away. But but I'm a Virgo. I need things symmetrical and I need.
Me too, Jamie. Yes.
My wife's a Virgo too, but she's on the cusp. She's on the cusp, so it's not really holding it together.
Jamie, what are you in your birth order?
I'm the youngest of 6.
Oh, I'm the oldest of 7.
I'm like 7 years past the 5th. So I always say I'm an only child of 6 because I grew up really as an only child, even though because they were out of the house, all of them.
I have to go sing happy birthday to my second of 2. But real quick, but wait, you're the oldest of 7, did you say, Betsy?
I am. It's complicated.
That's wild. How in 2021 do we have people that were 6 and 7? That's wild.
You have to go sing happy birthday, but my parents they had me, they got divorced, they each had 3 kids. So I'm the oldest, but also
still
all of them. Yeah. But they didn't
so you were always in a house with 3 other kids.
Siblings. Yes. You have only half siblings.
Oh my God.
I have 3 half siblings.
Yeah.
Who I am biologically more related to than my 3 siblings. It's complicated.
That's really complicated. All right, Kate, go do your
I'll be right back.
So the question is this week is all the little nuance, but it's really funny to hear you guys say that, because even tonight my wife was like, God, she gave me grief about something or other, and I was like, I think we both, if you both pulled us aside, we both go, I don't like the way the other one talks to me, but we're both saying it. And I'm almost like, let's truce it. Can we just get back to basics and go like, but it's funny. We talk to other people and we're like sweet as pie and, oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. And then we get home and we're like, whatever, just shut the fuck up. You're like losing your mind.
Jamie, how are your arguments at home? Because that I can't, due to my wife's health stuff, we can't argue. So
tell Betsy tell her your travails for a second.
Okay, so my wife had a stroke 6 days after the twins were born, and so we we almost lost her. So
I'm laughing because I know the whole story and it turns out okay. It's gonna be
she's okay now, but there is a certain, I don't know. She's kind of my hero in a lot of ways because of all that she kind of championed through. Yeah. But also, I carry a tremendous amount of guilt where I don't want to ever, it would be my luck that the one argument we had would be something that would trigger something else. And I don't want any part of that. Fair. Also, I just kind of love her.
Well, in a weird way, by you having sex with her, you almost killed her. It was a time, it was a time of killing. But honestly, it's because of what you did.
You should probably tell people
that because of I love callbacks too. It's because of what you did.
It's like he was there.
You almost killed her. I mean, she's gonna always blame. Like my wife blames me for the children in the first place, always, but she's blaming you for the heart attack, for the the stroke.
Well, I don't know if she blames me. She blames them, and I also do. Look, I've told you those twins are savage, and they tried to kill their mother right out of the gate.
Yo, I barely even made it here tonight because my children were screaming and freaking out because one of them would not give the other one the phone charger.
Mm. Was this in the car?
No. It was just in the house.
So what was the solution? How did you get around? How did you fix it?
I don't know. I yelled at it until everyone left me alone.
I might have taken the phone charger and tied their legs together with it, and then left them there for a while. That's my new. I'm like a King David guy, where I'm like, I'll cut the kid in half. Mm-hmm. That's my solution for everything. When the kids give me grief, they go, I'm bored. I go, I'll find a job for you.
Kate, we're talking about cutting kids in half.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's exactly what I thought I came back to.
No, it's exactly.
Yeah, no, it is exactly what you thought it was.
Okay, cool. Well, listen, it's not that I've cut them in half, but I've thought about drawing and quartering them. So if we're talking fractions.
By the way, drawn and quartered.
Yeah.
A lot of work involved in punishing somebody. I mean,
it does feel like a lot.
A lot of work.
Like you got to get all of the horses to not run at the same time, and then to run at the same time. It just feels like.
So I mean,
and they never do.
They never do. So
you could just take a rock and smash them in the head. Same end result.
Well, this got dark very quickly.
It's like the Iron Maiden, where it's like the guy, they put him in with the pokey things inside the Iron Maiden.
Yeah, easy peasy.
But the Iron Maiden, you're like, wow, somebody went to a lot of work to make that thing just so somebody else could really suffer. I'm not that. I don't work that hard.
No.
Now, to me, the Iron Maiden seems very efficient. Much more efficient than drawing and quartering.
Yeah, drawing and quartering is terrible. It's really confusing, that one.
It's
And
also
honestly,
just like clearly you wanted to
honestly,
watch that happen.
crucifixion, really time consuming. And
yeah.
yeah.
Really
Vlad
gotta
the
get that out.
Impaler. Vlad
And
the
it didn't
Impaler.
stick.
Okay,
No.
so that's
Wait,
the reverse. It's he's milking a cow to the north now.
They would impale them. They would impale the guy, and then just leave it up there on the poles.
What was that
the
called?
Impaler. Vlad the Impaler. That's where the Legend of Dracula.
Yeah, the Legend of
around
Dracula.
Vlad the Impaler.
And it wasn't. It was up.
Right up, so that you were kind of hung up. They'd go right up through the whole thing and just.
What?
Yeah,
They put
I've
up
had
your
a few.
butt?
yes.
I have
with
a
a-
few-
Kebabbed him.
I don't think it was. I'm not. If it didn't find the butt, it still went in because it was a spike. You were placed on.
So it could have been. It could have been taint. It could have been.
Could have been
It could have been.
taint.
It could have been straight through the
Honestly,
taint.
it could have just been right up, like under your skin in the back. It could have been a way, man. Yeah, the whole thing is just. When you think back to like prehistoric times, and it was pretty gruesome what people did. Middle
Taint
Ages.
of crucifixion.
Yeah.
I'm always every time like I'm Catholic, but every time I see people wear a cross, I'm like, it's like if John Lennon became a god and people just carried a gun around their neck. It's like that's the.
Have you? I feel like you might all appreciate this, but Jamie, have you ever heard that joke? Where you're like,
this is why we're all. I had a rough couple days too, and I think that's why we're going down. Genevieve, you know what? Genevieve's right. Genevieve, give us the next topic because we need some help.
I was just gonna say there's a joke my uncle used to tell. He's like, he's like why they crucified Jesus instead of fuck, I'm gonna fuck it up. They said they're like why they crucified Jesus instead of having they said the other option that was popular in those days was death by bees, but then you would have to walk into church and go like this instead of this.
Oh,
I fucked it up, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Mulligan's in. She's in timeout.
Yeah,
she's in timeout.
Sometimes we have to put her there. It's become a recurring thing.
Sorry, Genevieve. I apologize for Kate Mulligan and everybody. Everyone will get a letter that will. Kate's back in. All right, so I love the stuff about your husbands because I'm starting to learn stuff.
Yep.
What else about your husband? Here's another question because a friend of mine.
Well, let me get my
they've been married
scroll.
for a while, and they have separate bank accounts.
Okay.
I don't get that.
I don't get
Yes,
that either.
we have a bunch of bank accounts, but they're all kind of linked.
Yeah. I can. He's like my husband has his own that I can also access. Like it was like we both came with accounts that we didn't get rid of. We just put them and merged. Like
Sure.
we merged. Like I have his logins for. I mean, but we have like one bank account I pay all the bills from, and I'll take money.
Yeah. We have shared bank accounts. I have one checking account that I have not
Jason.
accessed in years that I just like to have. It just has like a little bit of money in it, just in case. Just because I have a single mom and there's a part of me that's like, a lady's always got to have her own money.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
yeah, that's like my
Do you guys share passwords?
Yeah.
passwords. Yes.
Absolutely.
I know people who are married who do not.
Oh,
share
Jason had a
passwords.
click tongue about that one. He doesn't want to. Oh.
No, I'm good.
Oh, you said.
She stole all my when I shared the passwords, she adopted all of them.
She adopted them. Oh yeah. I mean, I've got
Oh.
one that's like not mine, but it's his, and we just kind of use it.
Do you know any married people who have separate bank accounts?
They are no longer married.
That's my question. It just feels like
It's not because of that. It's because he cheated on her and said he was going for runs every morning, but he was instead going to have sex in a hotel by his work. That's why they're not married anymore. But also, he never let her into his bank account. So secrets beget secrets beget secrets. Period.
Well, that's probably how he was
Thank you for coming
paying
to my TED
for the rooms.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, that's the only two ways, though. He either is a really long distance runner, or that guy has sex very quickly.
He's
Because
both.
Probably the
Isn't
second
that
one.
funny? It's funny. He actually used to do the ultra. He was like a 50-mile
Yeah.
ultra. So it tracked that.
So
would
he
be
was gone for 4 hours for a run. Yeah.
It's a different kind of cardio and training, sure, but
when she looked at the his phone with like the little, he tracks his run or whatever, and it just shows going to the hotel. He goes, "Oh yeah, I ran to the hotel, and then I was on a treadmill for 3.5 hours.
Yes.
And then I ran back home."
If she didn't have access to his bank account, she didn't have access to his telephone.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah.
definitely not.
I just don't. You'd have to. I'm just amazed. People go, "Oh, we have separate bank accounts." I go, "Really? How does that work?" Do you each month go? You owe 50. Here's the mortgage. You owe 50%.
That is what they do.
Yes,
I think people do that.
I was talking to Jimmy Pardo, who does the Never Not Funny podcast, and he was saying that he and his wife have separate bank accounts. Although I guess it makes sense because they met when they were a little older, so they were like adults. Like, my husband and I were really young. Maybe that's part of it, is we're like, oh, fuck it.
Nobody met their wife when they were older than me. I am the living oldest dad guy of all time. But
how old were you?
How old were you when you met Kate? Yeah,
I met her in late 40s.
We met when I was
39.
Wait, what?
Sorry, I interrupted that with a joke. I'm sorry.
We got married. Go ahead, Kate. I don't interrupt your joke.
No, I just said we met in 2007. We met in 2007. Oh, his wife, Kate. Sure.
Oh,
you were 49
when we got married. My daughter was born when I was 50.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you still do the bit? Do you still do the bit about pulling into the driveway?
He does.
Pulling into the driveway and.
Because Dickie will actually quote. He's like, I still can't get over that guy's bit about pulling into the driveway. It's such a good joke.
My daughter was born when I was 50. Having kids at my age is like getting a DUI just as you pull into the driveway. Like, I was home, man. I was fucking home. I blew it. Yeah, I know.
That's a good bit.
It's a good bit.
So the great thing about doing it at that age, though, was that I was really comfortable. So I was always like, yeah, you can go through my phone. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So we're really super trusting of each other, which is good because I travel and she does too for work. So that's never been and I've told her, because we'll have a fight and I'll go, listen, if you can find a rich doctor who'll take care of you, have fun. I'll get an apartment. I'll be totally fine. It's not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And then,
she's like, I've got 2 kids. I'm tired.
She's tired.
She's like, also, by the way, you left the iron out. And you're like, nope. Actually,
she worked very hard. I want to hear from people commenting about your families. Do you guys have joint bank accounts or separate bank accounts? Do you guys share passwords? What's Brett? He said, this is my buddy's dad. I'm surprised your sperm didn't get lost and confused on the way.
That's called a roast.
Man. Oh, actually.
The roast of Jamie.
Over the years, some of my stuff did get lost, and I don't know where it is. It's gone. It's over somewhere. But yeah.
Have you checked the socks?
Yeah.
That would have been the first place I looked.
Yeah.
Have you checked that stripper's chest? I don't know. I had nothing to add.
Okay.
No.
With the Jesus and the strippers.
But you went for it anyway, and that's why I respect you.
Listen, Betsy knows you have to heighten. I went a little higher than, did you check the sock?
Everybody, by the way, you should look out for Kate's new podcast. It's called Why Mommy Goes Dark. And
that's called Why Mommy Got Canceled.
It's a great diatribe. Why Mommy Got Canceled. I'm always amazed. I mean, sometimes I'm just like, I don't know why it has to be this hard. Why can't it be? I think guys are always like, it's not this hard. Life shouldn't be this hard. Why are we making this as hard as it needs to be? It's like, I don't know. I think social media is affecting people where they see other people like the perfect photos and go, why aren't I living this stupid life that this person's having? But
hold up.
Okay.
Eric is a buddy of mine from high school, and he said I share a Netflix account with my ex-wife, paid through a shared bank account.
Now I'm here for that first half, but that second half, what?
So Eric, even though you guys are divorced, you still share a bank account?
Well, here's the question. There's a big difference between being divorced and being divorced with kids. Right? So
that's true.
Does he have kids? Do you know, Jason?
He does, yes.
So if it's like the kids use the account?
Yeah, I mean, if the Netflix makes, I mean, I guess if there's shared child costs.
Yeah, if they probably just are like, I put the child support in the bank account. Eric, I am backing you up, even though I don't know your story. So please don't be a serial killer, because I'm like,
that's what I thought.
Says is right.
I like
that's
that.
Eric. Smart.
Yeah, I think that's actually pretty smart.
It's very admirable because a lot of parents in that situation could not do that. They could not coexist in that. Like, so when my ex-wife and I split, I was a Florida resident, So she didn't want to lose her Florida residency Disney World benefits, so she continued to pay for my annual pass for legitimately like 8 years.
Huh.
Yeah.
I actually really like her.
That's a real commitment to the mouse.
She was so worried that she was going to lose the Florida residency discounts that she continued to just let me have an annual pass for free that she paid me.
Oh, hey,
I
Eric.
love Eric. Eric's like, our lawyers thought it was crazy.
Yeah.
And you know what? Lawyers, what do lawyers know? They don't know shit.
Yeah.
Well,
You're the only one living the life.
can you imagine being a divorce lawyer but being in a marriage? Like, are divorce lawyers still married? Like, I can
know
only
someone who
imagine.
is.
You do?
Yeah,
I just,
and they're
that's
in
a
like a
tough
good
job.
marriage.
Oh, that's a tough job, I feel like.
Yeah.
To just see people's absolute worst moments.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be tough.
No, thank you.
Yeah, of course it would. It's always amazing to me too, because it's such a strong emotion, because a lot of people don't even want to get divorced. They're like, no, murder, suicide. I'm like,
Yeah.
Like,
Explain
it's
that
so
to
funny.
me. Why?
Anytime anybody's killed, what's the first person they go to? Who loved this person the most?
Yeah.
That person. And like 99% of the time, like, I did it. I couldn't help it. I love them so much, I killed them.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason, I don't know about you. Maybe not with your wife with a stroke. She can't really like raise a hammer to kill you in your sleep. But
well, with the left side, it's still pretty good. She could, yeah.
Make you some soup with what's it? Oleander.
Yeah. I mean, she could poison me with some deadly nightshade.
Deadly nightshade.
That's the way I would do it.
Sally.
Thank you for knowing where I got that. Thank you, Kate.
I have another friend who's like, he's in his 40s, and he with this girl, and they're madly in love, but they've been together for a long time, and he's just not sure he wants to have kids, and she really wants to have kids, and it's that whole thing of like, you got Betsy's like, wait, what?
Betsy said, "Ha!" with her face.
Yeah.
The audio listeners,
y'all didn't like figure that out, make a decision, come to a consensus a long time ago. Second of all, you're in your 40s, so
girls in her 30s, I think, late 30s, and he's in their 40s.
It's gonna be
and then
increasingly costly decision.
He told me, I talk to him all the time. He's like, I just don't know if I'm ready for the responsibility. But the other problem is not getting married and have kids has just such a pointless aspect to it. He told me, which I totally agree. I go, because I kind of was that guy. I was in my early 40s, and I was just like, every year went by and it was pretty fun and it was great, but I kept doing the same things and kept going through the same motions, and there was nothing new. And you're like, well, is this all there is? It's kind of pointless. And then so you go, yeah, let's try kids, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is painful.
Yeah, I don't know, man. If you're on the fence, I feel like that's your answer. Like, I really wanted kids, and this is hard.
It's hard. It's really hard. It's really, really hard.
I can't imagine having kids and then being like, oh, I guess I shouldn't have done this because I didn't really want this. Like, what a horrible place to be at.
Well, I think about guys who are like 20 and 21 years old and just like, wow, okay, here we are.
Yeah, that Mike and Carol Brady are full of shit.
Hey, weren't Mike and Carol Brady divorced?
I thought were they divorced, or was one of them dead?
Oh,
someone was dead. Maybe they were all dead.
Maybe everyone. Maybe all
they were dead.
Or did they? Right,
because we never see the actual mom or the dad.
Right.
They met at grief counseling, perhaps. Huh.
They're just like, these are your new mommy and daddy. The end. We never talk about them again.
Never talk about the other one. The question is, do you have to, if you are with somebody and if you're married to somebody and they are deceased, they just become deceased, do you have to get a divorce for them still to get remarried?
No.
Or is it considered?
No, I think that you can.
I'll tell you what, Jamie, you better check the Catholic Church. They got all sorts of rules over there. You better check, Jamie, before you say no.
I hope Kate's husband doesn't watch this show to go like, wait, what is she planning? What's happening?
I'm like,
all of a sudden,
just spitballing here. If a person dies, what would you say? Do you have to divorce them?
for Christmas.
He won't give
Christmas,
me a divorce. I keep serving him papers and he won't sign. He's dead, Betsy.
Kate's Christmas wish list is some weights, some chains, a new boat, and a ball peen hammer. That's it. That's what she wants. And she might need a trailer. I might need a trailer for the boat. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure where I'm going to drop this thing. But
I need a lot of acid. The flesh melting kind is ideal. What?
Oh, limestone will take care of that.
Or a pig farm.
All right. Elizabeth said it. We've gone too far. So here's something.
Wait, what?
She said she didn't say we went too far. She said that escalated quickly.
Okay. Maybe she liked it.
She
might have been like,
Ooh,
this escalated quickly.
She did also tell us that we are hilarious. So I feel like she balanced it.
Yeah. So there.
Thank you.
Anyway.
I feel like I had a girl tell me that one time where she's like, "Ooh, that escalated quickly." Right? Is that? That's terrible. That was a terrible sex joke. I apologize. I'm gonna. You know what?
Oh, now I have questions.
Yep. Thanks.
He timed himself out.
This is great because now Betsy, you're
the ejaculation joke.
I don't know where he was going with it. It didn't.
Honestly, it escalated quickly. It escalated.
Oh, you just got
Oh, he went from 6 to midnight. There you go.
You know what? I need.
Also, 6 to midnight doesn't feel accurate. I feel like it's 6 till 2 o'clock, right? Can we just start saying the accuracy? Midnight is directly like.
I'm gonna go like
1?
5 to 1.
5 to 1.
5
Thank
to
you.
1. Yeah.
All right, I'm back. Can I tell you? So when I was a young man, and you're first starting to figure out your body, and your body's doing crazy things, and you would see a photo of a guy who was, at full mast, and he was perpendicular at 90 degrees, and it's more of you're right. There's more of an escalation to it, right? There's an angle. And I thought there was something wrong with me because my angle was too high. I thought I was like, wait, how is this ever going to work? And then it makes sense because mathematically, when you're next to each other, it has to be on that.
Yes.
Math, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. But
you learned that you were okay.
Did you want to show us? Did you want to show us with fingers? No, you didn't want to show us. Did you? Okay, there it is. Oh, okay.
Honestly, the main takeaway is like when young people see pornography, we all compare our own sexual situation, and then we're like, "Oh, I'm the worst."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, what do the people who like in the 1700s do? Like, I guess there was some randy drawings probably back in the day.
Oh, big time.
There's
also some sculptures from like thousands of years ago, but they didn't really have a point of reference. Like there was a guy on a farm in.
Can you imagine if you were like a caveman and you got self-conscious seeing one of the paintings? You know what I mean? Like
some dude like up on the cave was like just like hey.
Like just like a giant, and you're like, oh, is that how it's supposed to be? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Think about some of those sculptures that you've seen at the museums just
like the fertility sculpture. Yes.
It's like a swinging thing.
Yeah.
That would be so upsetting.
That would be a bummer. That would be a bummer to encounter. But yeah.
I think most people up until this point in time were like pretty open with nudity for the most part.
Yes, agreed.
So they also probably saw all sorts of stuff and were like,
it
is.
It was one of their two options. It was like that sack or nudity. You know what I mean? That wasn't like.
It's so funny how this country is like, we're so forward in so many, like we're gun nuts, we're all these crazy things. And then nudity, we're still like, oh my gosh, we're still such prudes about the whole thing. I mean, I was always prudish because I'm a redhead. So there was I had a Dr. Zayas thing going that was not conducive to.
I don't know what is happening. What do you mean?
He was the orangutan in Planet of the Apes. He was very orange, and I was covered in red fur. I'm a red fur guy.
I gotta tell
Michelle,
you.
Yes, Michelle.
Yes.
I don't know how educational it is, but it certainly is eye-opening.
I was thinking about lately, I was going to do a video about like doing the dad's sex talk for nowadays to be like, to include everybody of like, well, you have this and they have that, or you years from now, you might not have that. Yeah. And they might have it. They might have yours. Who knows? Or you might be a single digits, like a 0 or a 1, but you'll be binary or non-binary. We don't know what's going to happen.
Someone that did do that sketch. I'm going to send it to you later. I forget the actor's name. He's like a Latino guy, and he had a show on, I think on Comedy Central, where he played a bunch of different characters. And he did that sketch where it was like this kid was super just like up to date. And he was like, well, son, when a man and a woman love each other very much, he's like, do they have to love each other? Like, does it have to be a man and a woman? And and by the end, he was just like, I don't know. Like, and just.
You can't send it to me because now it's going to wreck my bit.
Oh, sorry.
I don't even watch other comedy out. Like, I never watch other comics really because I'm always afraid I'll overlap. But yes, I totally
agree. Or you'll lift it by accident. Like,
Jobo in the house.
Jobo! He didn't see the notification. Jobo came by the wine tasting. We had a big wine thing.
Jobo cheats on me all the time.
Actually, we should have brought Betsy for Why Mommy Drinks. We're doing another one in December. So we have all these guests, and we just this wine vineyard we know sends us wine, and we all drink it and talk about it. It's actually pretty fun.
I was fairly sauced by the end of that.
Let's go into some picks of this week. This is the week I had.
Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jamie, but something just happened in the chat that I can't go on without knowing.
Oh, please, let's get onto it.
It's that one.
Betsy, how is my son since his heart surgery?
Yeah, I don't know these things about you, Betsy. You had a son that had heart surgery?
And some of our audience did not know either, so.
None of your other audience members asked me about my son's heart surgery, and I'm upset. That is so sweet of you to ask. So my youngest son, so I have 3 kids. They're all boys, 5, 9, and 11.
Yes,
and my 5-year-old had he had an open heart surgery when he was 2, and then he had another open heart surgery this past June. So it's been a party. No, it hasn't. It was terrible. But he's fine. He's totally fine.
He will remain fine, or is this like an every couple years situation?
No, as we know it now, he shouldn't have to have another open heart surgery. He is on medication twice daily that like keeps his blood pressure low. That's supposed to sort of keep the mileage on his heart low. Okay. But yeah, so far so good.
And he's the youngest of the 3.
He's the youngest of the 3, and he's a ray of fucking sunshine.
Ugh, I can't imagine.
It's amazing what I know so many people who've had heart surgery on their kids. Like even like
really
prenatal. Yeah, like people. That's crazy what they can do nowadays. It's pretty nuts, man. Yeah, a lot of my friends had kids and they have it, and the kids have grown up and like there's no problem whatsoever. Like they can really go in and fix it. So I mean, that's amazing. It's an amazing story. So many people who watch stuff like this in our podcast are always. It's amazing. Like when Jason talked about his wife having a stroke and stuff. It's crazy because we all think we're living in this like little world where it's just happening to us, but it's happening to everybody. It's nuts.
Yeah. Everybody was married to Jason's wife?
Yes.
The first one.
Super weird.
I was number 72 actually, and I had a great 9 months with her, and we had a fantastic time. And
the first one was like a town bicycle. Everybody had the ride, so it was like it was not good.
Yeah.
Something I learned about his heart surgery was that the issues with his heart were very common. So common.
Yeah, what can I ask what it's called? Okay. Nope. You know what? She doesn't want to talk about it, guys. I can see. It's not that she doesn't know what it's called. She just doesn't feel like talking about it.
It's called like ASD. It's like aseptal defect. There's a few different things, but essentially I dumbed it down in my head, and here's how I remember it. He had 3 hearts. He had 3 holes in his heart, and then one of his mitral valves was kind of cleft. Okay. So instead of it being together, it was like kind of split. Okay. And so as it pushed the blood through to the chambers of the heart, because it was like this, the blood would come back through instead of pushing out. So that was his most recent. His first surgery was to repair all those hearts and to put that together. And then his most recent surgery was, I guess it was sort of like still kind of fucked up. So they tried to fix it, and they fixed it better.
Do you know this when you're delivering him, or do you know this days after, or do you know this when he's at a checkup when he's 3?
Yeah,
like when do you find this out?
2-year well visit, and she was like, "There's a murmur. We should check that out." And so we took him to the doctor. Yeah, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, he's got holes in his heart and all this other fucked up shit, and you gotta have open heart surgery." And we're like,
"Why did you go to George Wendt? George Wendt is not a good doctor."
I don't know. It's Carla. Yeah, I don't know. That's what it is.
Well, now we know why mommy
holes in his heart.
I mean, that's a good reason for mommy to drink.
Oh boy, that first time around, just between us and everyone watching, we did pack some martinis in like travel mugs.
Yeah,
because
I can't blame you at all. I think that's
either.
fair.
Yeah,
I think I would have honestly had to be like put on an IV, like medicated. Just even seeing your kid go under, I just can't even. Like if somebody was like, "Well, we have to put your kid under to clip their toenails," I'd be like, "I can't watch. Send me away."
That would solve so many problems.
Actually, now that I think about it, you're right. I am on board.
We went to REI and Hannah, she went to sit in one of the folding chairs and she grabbed it with her hand and the chair folded and absolutely destroyed the tip of her finger. Like she almost cut it off, like mashed it. And like she was destroyed. And so you know what's happening. And I see it coming in 2 days. I'm like, this nail's going to have to be pierced. There's no two ways about it. It's going to have to be pierced. She's
what?
Even 2 days later, because have you ever smashed a nail that hard? The blood's underneath and the blood can't get out.
Oh shit!
I have to find the photos of that too. And the blood is pumping under. And she's like,
she was a
2
baby.
days later, she can't take it, and my wife can't take it. And I go, "Come with me." And I took her to the emergency room, and the doctor, I go, because I had to used to do it in my toenails when I played soccer in college. Like I'd get my toenail smashed and I'd put a hot needle through it. And
I was gonna say it's like almost like they cauterize. It's like they burn through them, right?
Oh, that was fucking medieval.
Have you had that? Oh,
your brain just has too much pressure. We got to nail. We got to put a little.
They do it with the brain. They do it with the brain, right? They punch holes to let the pressure. Yeah. So I had to lay on her. She was flipped out. She tried to run out of the room. She was trying to run out of the.
Yeah, she's fucking smart.
And so I grab her and I'm laying on her and I'm holding her hand down. And the woman has like a wood burning kit, a cauterizing kit. And she goes, and this kid is like screaming, and I'm holding her tight. And the woman went right through the nail and the blood just went. I was like, oh. And she was like, but immediately she felt better. That's it takes the pressure off. So
and then she sketched a little unicorn.
Oh my God, she was insane. But she was like, she goes, it does feel better. I was like, holding her, dragging out.
Oh,
it is crazy. Brutal. I mean, you sit there. You know, we had to have surgery. My daughter had a trigger thumb when she was like a year old. It doesn't close.
Yeah.
No, it's like always that way.
It wasn't that way when she was a little baby, and all of a sudden something happened. They say the sheath on the tendon catches it. And so the thumb will close and then it can't reopen. And sometimes she would hook it and it would pop it open and it would be super painful. And I'd be like, hey, it's fixed. And then she'd be like, yeah, it is fixed. And then a day later, she'd be like that. And so they had to go in for surgery and cut it and open it. And it's it's nowhere near heart surgery. And we were like absolutely beside ourselves. Like it was absolutely the most terrifying. She was literally under for, I'm going to say about 60 seconds. They like put her under. As soon as she was under, the woman went sliced, bang, put it all together and brought her out. And she was like that or something. But my wife was.
But isn't that what's true about parents? Like whatever happens to our kid is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And then you hear about other like I hear about what Betsy's gone through, and like Betsy's thing is like objectively the biggest, like one of the biggest things. Like I had this thing happen this weekend. I took the boys to Great Wolf Lodge for James's birthday, and I thought it was a good idea. It wasn't, guys. But that being said,
this is good to know because I've recently been thinking this would be a good idea. So tell me about the bad idea.
Are all of your kids able to be vaxxed?
Yes.
So my youngest still isn't because he's just turned 4 today, and nobody in Orange County is wearing a mask. Not in a hotel, not the employees at the hotel. And I was like, that's a bummer because the facilities are so great. But this thing happened where this guy was standing behind me, and I was like fighting with James about something. And then like Neil came over, and the guy's like, "You fighting the big fight too?" And I was like, "I'm always fighting the big fight." And like really, and then he's like, "My oldest, not my young guy, but my oldest, we're on the tail end of it." And I was like, "Oh, no. He thought Neil had cancer. My son's bald from alopecia."
Oh no.
And he was talking to me, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm sorry. No, I'm not fighting the big fight." And I was like,
Well,
I'm
maybe.
so but he's like, "I'm so sorry. I guess I shouldn't have asked." I'm like, no. Like, you can ask about my bald kid. Like, but his kid is like full hair now. But I was so mortified because I was like, "Oh, like alopecia is the biggest thing I deal with, but it's not that big." Like, that's like, it's just crazy. Like, whatever, like. And now probably, Betsy, if your kid had a trigger finger, you would probably be like, well, that's not as bad as the kid that had open heart surgery. But if that's all your kid have, like, that's a massive thing.
But hey, from my point of view also, I mean, I know moms who have had way worse things than open heart surgery. So it's all relative scale, right? Like,
let's just face it, it's all bad. It's just all bad.
It's all bad. Yeah. Anything that happens to any kid.
There's a handful of good things that are scattered amongst a million terrible things. I'll show you a picture. Here's what happened to my daughter this week. And it's pretty awful. I'm sorry I have to show you this, but you're gonna have to take a look and see what you think happened to her.
Okay. First of all, she's painfully beautiful. I know that I'm not supposed to say that about people anymore. I'm supposed to say that they're capable and smart and intelligent and
like
strong,
a great problem solver.
But also, she looks like she's going to be a great listener and a CEO someday. But also, wow, what a beauty!
So here's what happens.
What's on her face?
We go to a birthday party and they go, "Hey, they're doing face painting," and I go, "Great, let's do face painting." What do you think when they think face painting? You go like, "Hey, cat," or like a mouse, or something.
Like superhero.
Like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mask.
20 minutes later.
Or sometimes you're like, "Make me look like a creepy spider, but only on like one part of my face."
Yeah.
So this is, and so she came back to me and I said, "Who did that?"
Peacock.
I go, "Did you do that?" And she goes, "No, that's just how they painted my face." I go, "Who are they having? Are blind people painting your face? What happened here?" And so I was really confused.
Were they summoning Cthulhu with the runes or what?
Yeah, right. And so I didn't know. It's like a new Children of the Corn or something, where it's like they have their own. It's like Lord of the Corn children flies or something.
Yes.
So wait, what is this supposed to be?
I don't know. Does anybody have an idea?
Like a strung out peacock, maybe?
I think a peacock.
Actually, I showed it to some friends. One guy said peacock. I asked her, and she said patriotic cheetah. And I was like,
"What?
What's with the weird K symbol? Like,
yeah,
it's like a Mason symbol down low."
Oh, I'm in Illuminati improv, and now I understand.
Now you get it.
So what are we dealing with there, Betsy? What level Mason is she?
Oh, she's hydroponic 5, level 5.
She's level 5.
Yeah.
So that means she gets a badge. And it just reminded me how much I hate face painting. And I've always hated face painting. And every time I go to a party, I'm like, why are we doing this to our kids? Why are they face painting my children so that then I have to go home and try to scrub it off their face? They wear it for like 4 days. It's a train wreck.
That's actually not the issue. Is not scrubbing it off their face. It's getting it out of the clothes that they're wearing that it inevitably gets
in her hair. See it in her hair?
Yeah.
Disaster.
Yeah. Wait
Who
a
started
second,
face painting, and can we stop it?
Did she go to the person and say, and they were like, "What do you want to be, little girl?" And she was like, "A patriotic cheetah." Is that what happened?
I don't know how
it feels like one of those Jimmy Fallon games where they're like, "It's the wheel of impressions" or whatever, and it's like they're like, "We're gonna take one adjective and one noun and put them together, and that's what you're gonna get on your face."
A drunken goldfish. Yeah.
A happy velociraptor.
Maybe the face painter also was the kind of person who brings a red cup to a children's event.
Honestly, that was my only other thing. I was like, well, that guy was drunk. Something heavy. Let me do your nose, and there's a few on the side of your face, and here's a weird symbol. And go.
Her face she doesn't look happy about it.
Yeah, how did Claire feel about it?
I don't know. What does that face say?
It
Well,
says,
Not pleased.
honestly,
I'm gonna need ice cream, maybe.
to me, it feels like she actually knows, like, she's going to be in an ad someday. She's practicing her dead eyes.
Jeez.
Or she's like, this is my National
She'll
Geographic
Jedi you and-
She's
moment.
like the Bedouin woman.
with the
I mean,
with
this
the
is
striking eyes.
This is the other thing that happened to me this week. My wife needed some pants, and so we went shopping.
Okay.
And I always go, just go without us.
Yeah.
Obviously. She-
100%.
Why would you ever want to shop with your children?
She
Thank
wants
you.
the
Thank you.
kids. She
Betsy
works
gets
during
it.
the week, so she wants
Okay.
the kids to come. And I go, great. So that means you're going to shop for pants, and I'm trapped with 2 kids in a place where I don't.
Wait,
And
so why
so-
do you have to go? Because she wants to be with you still?
She wants us all to go together, so we all go together. And
okay.
then she shops, and she goes, I can't even shop with the kids here. This is crazy. I go, told you not to bring them. I begged you to not to bring them. So then she's shopping. So here's what happens. We end up doing this. That was
Okay,
my
so you
daughter
guys,
and I.
you guys went to anthropology. That's cool.
It wasn't even anthropology. No, it's on Ventura. It's like,
Oh.
I don't know. It's one of those. I forget the name of it.
It
Something like
looks
one of
like
those boutique shops where it's like 8 things in there that are way too expensive. And you're like, how are you paying the mortgage on this place? This is insanity.
Wow. I barely even go into stores anymore. I either buy it online or in a secretive long Target trip, I will try things on and then come home and be like, oh, this is a long Target trip. Look how these pants I have.
My wife has things sent to the house a lot, and then I just return them. So she'll like have like 8 pairs of shoes sent to the house, and then I return 7. Well, I have the guy at UPS and I are like, he's my best friend. Is the guy who works at UPS.
Like,
Yeah. If I ever get married again, he's my groomsman. He's the best man. Yeah.
If I ever get married again, it's going to be to my Roomba.
That
And then
Betsy,
she has to go to the hospital, and I miss her so much.
you have to
Yeah.
shoot that sketch. That's really funny.
You do have to shoot that.
That's a pretty funny sketch.
that is so good.
All
So I
right.
received a divorce, and I'm getting married again.
Oh,
It's my
oh my
Roomba.
god.
It's my Roomba.
Oh my god, that's so
Roomba
funny.
does everything I tell it to.
Oh.
So that was the week. Have you guys? Well, it's funny because you talk about shopping because apparently you can't get anything anymore. So sometimes I like going to the store. I'm still tactile. I'm old. So I like to go to the store. But you go to the store and then you finally get somebody to help you, and you talk to the guy, and the guy's like, "Yeah, that's only online." And you're like, "What am I doing here, man?" He's like, "I don't know. Go back at home and shop online." So we have been shopping. We've almost done all of our Christmas shopping.
Already?
Yeah.
Humble
Wow.
brag.
Yeah,
We were sly about that, yeah.
I didn't do any of it. My
the
wife.
Halloween candy's still warm.
So-
How dare you?
But in this year, I think she's super smart because a lot of the
Yeah, it is.
toys are
Yeah.
going. Actually, there was something we tried to get. And
Oh
we couldn't get.
yeah,
Oh, I didn't even
that's
think
so
about
smart.
Listen, I'm
the
gonna do all my
bride.
Christmas shopping. I'm gonna swim out to one of those barges in the Long Beach Bay, and I'm
Can
just
I
gonna
send a
take
list
whatever
with
they
you?
have. Yeah, I'll just take whatever they have on that ship that can't undock.
Hey, Kate, just so you know, that's called piracy. It's a serious crime.
I will pay for it with Dogecoin.
Where is Mr. Phillips? He's not here, dude. Just take what you want. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, I didn't even think about the supply chain, Jamie. That's genius. I mean,
My wife, I had nothing
it's
to do
already
with it. I'll give
so
it
smart
props.
just to
So
get it
she's
all
been
done.
shopping, and but here's the problem. We're having trouble trying to hide it.
Yeah,
The house
Really?
is like a crazy, and here's the problem:
Yes.
they're hidden all over the place to the point where by the time Christmas rolls
you're
around,
not gonna remember.
I'm gonna forget where they are, and then all of a sudden, in like April, I'm gonna go, "Hey, Merry Christmas!" Like it's gonna be.
You're gonna
Yeah.
have to. You're gonna have to do. I had to do this one year to be creative. Like it was a year that we were spending here for Christmas, and I had to actually make a spreadsheet. I was like box and garage. I like wrote everything that was there. It's very laborious. It sounds like I can tell by your face, Jamie, you're not into that idea. But
Or you get this, you can write it on a piece of paper.
oh, boom, boom.
I mean, a list is just way easier than spreadsheet. You lost me at spreadsheet, but it
It's
is
just
what
that
it
the kids can't find it then.
Yeah.
I went a slightly different route. So our children believe, well, the oldest believes that a race of spiders who only eat kids when they're bad live in our basement.
Okay.
So he won't go down there by himself for any reason ever. So the basement is a perfectly what, Kaylor?
Why do they think that?
I may have
Betsy and I also wanted to ask that. It wasn't just Kaylor. Why do they think that?
My kids have this crazy thought that if they misbehave, that they'll get cut off. It's just a weird thing that popped into their head. I don't know.
Look, I can't confirm or prove that they aren't down there. I've never been bad down there, so they have never hunted me. But I've heard rumors from previous owners of the house and neighborhood tales that the spiders that dwell in our basement in the darkest corner will eat you if you're bad and under the age of 10.
Amy, do you know how to do that thing where you say the views of Jason Collin do not reflect
those I can do it
of,
for myself.
Thank you. That would be ideal.
You're right. He's in timeout. I'm timeouting him.
That's unbelievable. This is truly some of the darkest parenting I've ever heard.
Man, so your child's afraid of anything.
So here's my other question for you. So Hannah's 8. She's 8 years old, and we've made a decision for Christmas that this is happening.
Ooh. Yeah.
It took me a long time to find one that was girl appropriate. With
Hannah appropriate.
She loves purple and cats.
Yeah.
She's gonna love it so much.
She's gonna love it. But how? What day in January are we going to the hospital, or will it just be late December?
Oh, you're funny that you think it was going to be January. I think it's going to be pretty early after.
It's late the 25th, probably more like afternoon of the 26th.
Yeah, I was going to say
So the 26th is my guess. The 25th will be super cautious. We'll watch. There'll be helmets. There'll be wrist guards, and then the 26th, all hell breaks loose. Is that what's happening?
Shall we start a Jamie's ER pool?
Yeah.
Well, that's I want to ask moms about. Are you guys? My wife is super cautious. Obviously, I told you the macaroni and cheese story about cooking. Are you guys more the cautious one in the relationship, or are you like, yeah, let's test that chainsaw?
I'm not the cautious one. I'm always the one. Maybe because I have 6 younger siblings, so I'm always like, look. If they run around the coffee table and they impale themselves like Vlad the Impaler, then they'll learn not to do that.
Yeah.
And my husband,
right up the tape.
But if they ever, like my husband is terrified that they'll hurt themselves. And to me, that's like, well, they got to test stuff out. What about you, Kate?
I think I'm somebody who would say out loud, like, oh, I'm fine. But I think I'm always like, I think I wish I was like pretty chill about stuff, but I'm always like, our son, like James, who's, I always compare, like this, it was his birthday today. And like, I really had a really, really tough day with him. It was just, I'm starting to, and like, I'm not being silly when I say this, but I'm starting to wonder if there like actually is some darkness in him that like we maybe need to address. And it's like, because he just, well, like, I just feel like some like minor sociopathy, like,
oh, that's just childhood.
That's, I know, but like, there's like a pleasure he gets from harming me.
Oh boy.
Then I'm sort of like,
define harming.
Like I was sitting like cuddling him in bed, and he like took my knee and slammed it into the wall.
Oh.
Wow! And I said, James, that hurt me. Why would you do that? I don't know. Jew said that you don't like me. And I was like, I never said I didn't like you. I love you. But like, it's just this very bizarre.
Jamie, her son is Portuguese. Is that what the question was?
I was going to say Italian. You went with Portuguese. I love that though, Betsy. Betsy, thank you for the answer. I was wondering about that.
You guys, he's got a speech impediment where he says Jew all day long. Okay. So he's actually Jewish. Thank you.
Wait, what?
He's just Jewish. That's all.
You actually are in this house. About that, man. You don't know anything, man.
He's like, I got 2 things in this world: my worth and my balls, and I don't break nobody for none of those for nobody. Whatever the line is. No, but he says he's just like,
woman's so polluted she can't have no babies.
Do you want me to crack your knee against the wall? Do you want that? I'm doing it.
Wait, Kate, how old is this kid? How old did they just turn today?
He just turned 4 today.
Okay. Yeah.
So
is he skinning cats? Are there like dead cats?
No. I think the thing is like I know that is one way you can sort of see it as like a purposeful and repeated harm to animals.
Right.
We don't have that, but I just like had such a really tough day.
All the animals around us keep dying and showing up dead. Yeah. Sorry.
Exactly.
I have a question.
Birds are falling from the sky.
Does he like to dress as a clown and then invite young men over for drinks at night and show them handcuffs? Is that a different?
You know what?
Again with the Gacy. Sorry, Jason.
I'm just saying.
It's okay.
Part of our sleep training was what he does in his room at night is his business. So I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. Once he goes to bed, that's his time and that's his room. So
has he, to your knowledge, ever been any form of pillow man?
All right.
Honestly,
people, yes. We need call as long as the people watching know about the callbacks to the pillow.
Yeah.
Where's the picture? We got to keep the pillow man picture.
I know. Gotta get that pillow.
It's not in there anymore. It's gone. We pulled it. Claire's pillow man picture. That was one of the funniest things ever.
Anyway, I don't remember why I started talking about him having darkness, but it was just one of those days where I was just like, man. And like there was moments of like, oh, he's so sweet, and like, yes, but like I also like honestly, if saying mama was a drinking game, I would be dead from alcohol poisoning by 8 a.m.
Mama.
8 a.m. Mama, you come put batteries in my new toy? Mama, you come? Mama, did you get me ice water? Mama, did you come?
That should be your Instagram handle. Mama, did you come?
Mama, did you come?
At Mama, did you come? Mama, did you come? Mine would be at snacks. Snack daddy.
Oh, mine would be ma work. Ma work.
Oh, ma work. Jason, what was
mine is a straight up classic, just daddy. Oh,
that's so funny.
Jason, you joke.
It makes you resent. You love being called mama, dad,
yes,
but it also makes you resent it so much because you're just like, what the fuck? Stop saying my name.
How are we still talking? I just like you woke up and you just didn't stop talking. How are we still talking at 10 a.m.? What? But Jason, you joked that you have one twin that you're like something's not like. But is that a joke, or did you find like there's moments of like you're
no, Jamie, you've met the child. There's something dark there, isn't there?
Yeah, he took like 5 years off my life. It was weird. He's like
this is him.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a.
Every time he shows that, people go, "Oh my God, he's beautiful," and he is. And but we always say,
and that's how the dark.
When the devil shows up, he's not going to be ugly.
That's how his sorcery works.
That's how sorcery.
See those eyes? They're penetrating, and he gets you in his thrall. And then he savagely beat me this evening with a Red Baron pizza box. And my wife was laughing so hard that she did not help me. And I'm like, will you stop this kid? And he just, it's like the soul just leaves and he becomes one of those black-eyed kids from the Paranormal Activity. He just, oh God!
It's really long knives from The Omen, and probably have Gregory Peck come and do it. I would imagine.
See, like look, this is his twin brother. See, there's a soul there. No,
this one looks like he's scheming. That's
I would have said this is the devil right here.
This is the one that's like my wife. He's very even keeled. The only thing he is a little food aggressive.
Okay, well, listen.
Food aggressive. That one.
Thank you, Betsy. I wanted to comment on that. I didn't know how to go at it. Dude, please. Let's talk about food aggression. What? He's food aggression. Like he likes food?
Like my kids are phone aggression.
So for those of you who are not aware of what food aggression in a 2-year-old is like, his brother and he came from the same egg. They were at one point the same life.
Mm-hmm. He
would snuff out his other half for a bag of Apple Jacks.
Yeah.
Without thinking twice about it.
Yeah.
He has ripped sandwiches from my hand in cold blood. And when I go to try and take it back, shrieks at me like just like a tiny angry gremlin creature. I'm basically living with gremlins. That's what it is. That's why
find
we don't feed them after midnight.
I was
and
going to say
we've
gremlins
stopped-
after midnight specifically.
Yeah, you can't. And we've stopped bathing them because I don't want more of them.
Here's how food aggression works in my family. I made my kids sweet potatoes today, right? My wife, she's like, we're trying to feed them healthy. And I got a rotisserie chicken, some sweet potatoes. And my wife goes, make them sweet potatoes. And I go, they won't eat it, which they won't. They won't eat it. And so I had a huge fight with them. I said, you have to eat this. And she goes, well, I'll eat it, if you put marshmallow on it, right? You put marshmallow on sweet potatoes. Does everybody else do that?
Oh, yeah, like for Thanksgiving,
So I had little mini tiny marshmallows that you kind of put into hot cocoa.
Dad.
Tiny ones. So I put a few of them in the top of it. And then so I gave them their meals, and then I went and got showered, and then I came back down. They had picked each of the marshmallows out and eaten the marshmallow. I said, you fucking kidding me? I told you. And I said on the way up the stairs, I go, if you just eat the marshmallow out of that thing, you're going straight to bed. I'm gonna lose my mind. And I came down, and then she had eaten the marshmallows out of it, and then I melted. And so she sat and ate the sweet potato, which she could have just done in the first place.
She could have just done in the first place.
Did
she do it? Did she do it crying?
Oh, Claire will she'll like pick up the littlest piece, and she'll just when she'll touch her tongue and then go. And I go, are you throwing up? She goes, ah! And just from like, and I'll go, all right, I'm going to eat it. I don't know what to tell you anymore. I can't help it.
Oh, man.
I had to give my kid a COVID test today just for funsies.
Oh,
because I have a fucked up idea of fun now that I have kids. And I was like, like so many times. It was so gross. I can't remember the last time I did that. And also, I was gonna tell you, whenever I give them oatmeal, I put in chocolate chips, and they do the same fucking thing, Jamie. They just eat the chocolate chips out, no matter how good I like stir it in there.
We do chocolate chip pancakes a lot. I don't put chocolate chips in the in oatmeal, but I'll make chocolate chip pancakes. Actually, the other day I made Nutella pancakes.
Yes.
And it was pretty bomb. It was the bomb. It was the bomb.
Oh, it's really good.
It's so funny. She'll go like, please put chocolate chips in it. And then I'll put chocolate chips in it, and I'll make her a pancake, and I'll put it down. And then I go back to make the other one a pancake, and I look over. She's already gone to the fridge, covered it in syrup and whipped cream. And I'm like, what the fuck? You covered chocolate chips with syrup and whipped cream. I mean, I'm the worst father of all time.
No. Jamie,
I'm on board with it.
When you would go out for a night and you would get a little drunk, and then you go out on the street corner and you'd smoke a little weed, and then at the end of the night you might do a bump. It's the same idea.
You know what, Betsy? I didn't honestly. Now it makes sense. Now I get it.
I love her so much. Yeah. Oh my god, that one really took me by surprise.
That was laid out beautifully.
I was like following it.
Following
it. Didn't see it coming.
Her breakfast is basically me going down memory lane and going to Santa Monica in 1997. Is that what you're telling me? I'm bar hopping at the Circle Bar in 1997.
Oh my god. There were so many ends of that story.
Yeah. I thought we were heading to IHOP. I thought it was ending in IHOP. That's where I thought it was going.
I gotta tell you,
where it ended.
I thought we were gonna have some filthy, dirty, anonymous sex. I didn't know what was happening.
With possible maple syrup.
We all see this through the glasses with which we lived.
Right. It's a Rorschach test.
It was very telling where all three of us had been in life by the reactions to where that story was going.
I honestly feel like it's really crazy. We have gone so far over time that is a great point to kind of bring it home. I think we negativity. We went a little positive. It's cocaine and alcohol from back in the 90s.
Yeah.
But also pancakes and chocolate chips.
And also dirty, filthy.
I mean, filthy. I made a mistake recently. Claire wouldn't eat breakfast, and so I go, I'll make you something special. So I made her a egg and bacon and cheese sandwich, and cut the crust off, and put this thing in like a little heart shape or whatever. And she's like, that was great. She goes, that was great, Daddy. I go, oh, nice. And now every single morning, Hey, can I get one of those bacon egg? It's like she's ordering at the craft services truck. I'm like, hey man, I'm not. What are you talking about?
You gotta, Jamie. Next time you gotta say like, I made you something special. Oh, it's right there. It is. Oh,
Jobo, like my 20s, just a blend of alcohol and cocaine.
Sounds like
I'm
Jobo.
hurt there was no IHOP in there, Jobo. I'm hurt there was no IHOP.
Also, Jobo, happy late birthday.
Happy late.
Oh yeah, happy birthday.
Actually, we celebrated 36. It over the week. We celebrated.
You did? Oh my God.
Jobo came by on the wine fest, so we got to have him on the show. All right, listen, we got to wrap this because I still have to make sure kids are in bed right now.
They're definitely not.
They're not.
Morning. So we normally only go an hour, but that was super fun. Betsy,
that was so much fun. Thanks for having me.
You got to come back.
Yes,
we need more funny moms, and that was awesome. That was super fun. Kate, we love you.
Love you guys.
Yeah, thanks for playing. Definitely check out Why Mommy Drinks podcast and Illuminati Improv. I'm gonna go off on improv for a second because I think it's not just for acting. It was like this magical skill that was in the 60s and 70s. But the truth is, it's what makes people successful in every aspect of life. I do improv games with my kids all the time because if you're doing conversations as a lawyer or anything and you say yes and add information, it works. It just makes people want to come around you. You tell stories. And so I'm big on improv with kids. So I think they teach it in schools now. Every school kind of has an improv class. I'm kind of jealous of these kids today.
I love that you said, like, as a lawyer, and like in my lens for my kids would be like, as a car salesman, when they say
when you're installing carpet, when you're waitering at Applebee's,
yes,
Chief Auto Parts,
yes, when you're fixing
with
toilets.
your cellmate in the state pen.
Yeah, the state pen. When he says, I'm going to rape, you say yes, and I'm going to enjoy it. Will you like it as much if I'm enjoying it? And then they'll say no, and that's the end of the scene.
Yep, because they're bad improvisers.
Went dark again.
That's how Betsy and I met. She was teaching a class, and that's how we met.
Oh,
and I loved
that.
it. And I was in class with these people who'd never improvised before, and it was so much fun. And I'm still friends with a lot of those people on social media and stuff.
Dude, I love that.
I know, it was super fun. And I just think it was always fun to me. I used to be in improv groups all the time. And my kids and I play little improv games and stuff. I think it's fantastic. So definitely check out Illuminati Improv for classes and stuff. Watch or listen to Why Mommy Drinks podcast. We're going to share ours from when Jason and I did it a few weeks ago. And that's it. If you're watching this show on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching this show on Facebook, follow, check out Why Mommy Drinks Facebook page and Instagram page, and everybody else, I guess. Jason, anything else?
Yeah, check out our audio version of the show on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, and wherever else you get your podcasts.
You can hear the description of James E.
Kate, we'll have Kate in the post. She'll come in and explain what I'm doing with my hands.
I'll be the director's cut.
This was awesome. So much fun. This is honestly, we used to have people as guests and interview them and stuff. But to me, it's just, I love the panel where everybody just gets to kind of talk about the week that was. And hopefully everybody feels as good as I do now about how shitty of a week it was.
Yeah, really, truly.
That was a delight.
Better.
All right. I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning into the Parents Lounge. We'll see you guys next Tuesday here. That's it. Have a good one.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Yay! Woo!
Jason, are you out?
No, I'm still here. Yeah, there you go.
Can I say content?
Yes.